So yeah, what you're going to see is you're going to see, I was playing a little bit before because some of you guys were coming in, but this is our new trailer for Dungeon Fighter Online. So take a gander and I'll talk a little bit about it. So as you can see, Dungeon Fighter Online is all about the arcade action. So much so that we even, this can be played with a gamepad too, and people do often. This is a game crafted by arcade fighting game fans, specifically for arcade fighting game fans, drawing elements from the last 30 years of video game history and kind of what made these arcade fighting fans games great. It's all about the skills, the combos you use, the characters you choose, right? Now, we take that arcade world and we marry it to an elaborate fantasy world, giving it its MMORPG quality to it. So this role-playing game aspect is kind of all about kind of moving through this world of Ariad, but it's also about customization. So in DFO, you can dress your character up in thousands of different outfits, anything from full playmel armor to a disco queen from the 70s with an afro, to a schoolgirl, to leather and chains, to a thug. I mean, pretty much it has that whimsical quality. The World of Ariad is not necessarily a austere place. Now we take both the arcade action and this RPG element and we bring them online so that people can play together. And this is the third element of DFO. Actually, people in Asia have DFO competitions everywhere. Thousands of people actually do these things. It is the biggest video game in the world. We have 2 million registered users worldwide. So let's take a look at individual gameplay. This here's the Mage. This is a very high-level dungeon called the Hell Mode, which just released in our launch on June 9th. It's easy to play the game. The controls are very easy. You can jump into them. There are hotkeys for everything, and all those hotkeys are customizable to however you want to play the game. However, to really master the game, it takes an understanding of how to use these skills and when to use them. Here, the mage is using the Tiana skill, which is basically allows her to turn into this Amazonian princess who just lays waste on, in this particular case, it's Blaze, who is our Hell Mode monster. Now, let's talk about the classes real quick. So we have the Slayer, who's a swordsman who's possessed by a demon, and that's the source of his power. We have the Fighter, who's a martial arts expert, all hand-to-hand combat, her skills. The Mage, who you just saw, was as a magic user, distance attacks, area attacks, summoning. We have the Priest, who does healing, but he also is the biggest character, the strongest character for its strength. And we have the Male Gunner and the Female Gunner, who just released, and their skills are all about technology, using guns and robots and explosives. Now, all of those classes can break down into subclasses when you get to a certain level. One of the Slayer subclasses is the Soulbender. There are 23 of them. So one of them is a Soulbender, who basically makes a deal with the demon within him to use his power when he wants to. Then one of my favorite fighter subclasses is the brawler, who is basically a dirty fighter. She knows all the martial arts, she just doesn't have any of the honor or nobility, right? So she snares players, enemies, she jumps on them and smashes their face into oblivion, or she does something very un-martial arts where she throws mines at her enemies.
Nice.
One of my favorite subclasses. One of the gunner subclasses that I love is the launcher, basically letting all of the huge weapons do the work for you, whether it's calling down a nuclear strike on your opponent, or whether it's calling upon some huge mechanical fist to clear the way. Now, you can play a lot of these over in our booth a little later. Now, so those are the characters of the subclass. Oh, we have the female gunner, I almost forgot. Female gunner is different than the male gunner, and she has all these unique skills. This particular one's called the gun dance, and again, you can play them over in our booth. So I'm going to go back to the, oh yeah, I'm sorry, you could actually play through this solo. You can just, by yourself, go through the monsters, eventually get to the boss monster, but it's better to team up with your friends in parties and actually enter these dungeons together. And in some of the higher level dungeons, it's almost necessary. They're so difficult, you're going to need your friends at your side. Now, that's one part to play with other people. The other aspect to play with other people is one-on-one fighting. It's actually arena, PvP action. So you could do this one-on-one or team-on-team of up to 4 on 4. You can also do an elimination mode. But my absolute favorite player versus player mode is the brawl, in which up to 8 players can just fight it out until one is left standing, and he is the ultimate dungeon fighter. So I want to go back to the story real quick, because all this action here is really explosive, but there is a really fantastic story going on. All the quests you choose will reveal that there are these 12 fallen gods who come to Arid, and if the dungeon fighters kill them, it will restore balance. But there's a twist. It may not be that they're the ones at fault for all the madness and evil that's going on, so the quest will reveal the secret to that. So that's it. That's Dungeon Fighter Online, and I've got through my first presentation in the morning, so thank you very much, guys. And it's full of explosive action, it's full of RPG excitement, and again, like I mentioned, it's brought online, unlike anything you'll see at this convention this weekend. So thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. I'm going to ask Chris to come on up and talk to you a little bit about InDis.